You got a friend in me, da da ba da. Just remember what your old pal said, 'cause you've got a friend in money. Disney has a friend in money. So they just keep churning out these Toy Story movies. Nah, I'm just kidding around. Obviously that's the cynical perspective to have on Toy Story 5. Another one? Personally, I think that they should have stopped making them at Toy Story 3. Duh. You think they're gonna listen to you? They're not gonna do that. They're not going to do that. Why would they do that? This is the first movie in my adulthood or in my life, really. It would be strange if I did this as a child. This is the first movie that I've gone to see by myself, with no one else that I know. And that was kind of weird. To the left of me was like a 13-year-old girl, and to the right of me was literally a 6-year-old. It was weird. And I wanted to leave. Until the movie started, and then I was engrossed enough. Toy Story 4 and 5 are not my cup of tea. Obviously, I agree that they should have stopped with Toy Story 3. That is the correct opinion. Toy Story 4 and 5, they both feel like they take themselves less seriously than Toy Story 1, 2, or 3. Toy Story 1 and 2, and probably 3, they're a movie. They start, and there's a character, and the character has a need, and then they do something, or whatever. You know? They do a thing, something happens to them, we sit with them, and we go, what are we gonna do now? You know what I mean? But Toy Story 4 and 5, the pacing is very fast. Not very fast, it's not crazy over here. It's faster than I prefer. The jokes are not great. It just feels like they take themselves much less seriously. I feel like things that happen to these characters in Toy Story 4 and 5 would be dealt with a lot more seriously in Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. That's the way I feel. This movie does, however, get pretty heavy-handed and serious. Not overly, but they take enough things seriously. It did not disappoint me, but it was slightly distracting. It was slightly off-kilter. Speaking of off-kilter, the characters, they're not quite right. This is both in 4 and 5. They just don't seem like themselves. There's something not there. I think Buzz Lightyear is just stupid. Like, he's just a moron now. And yeah, duh, he made poor decisions in Toy Story 1, but that's because he can't accept that he's a toy. We don't have to keep doing that now. Buzz Lightyear's not a 4-year-old. Another problem with Toy Story 4 and 5 that I have in general are the Neo Disney Pixar characters. The light and I'm quirky. These Kamala Khan, Steven Universe humans. Every Disney Pixar movie has humans looking like this ever since arguably Tangled. Even Toy Story 3 kind of, I would say, looks like this. And I don't like it. I find it hard to believe what I'm watching when the characters are like, whoa, yeah! And they're not overly like that, but there's there's tinges of it that kind of touch everything about this. And I did not like that when it brought up. Thankfully, most of the movie is the actual toys, and the humans aren't in it that much, but they are in it a significantly larger proportion than in Toy Story 1 or 2. Toy Story 4 and 5, we are in the post-game of Toy Story. The real story happened, and now we're kind of exploring other little nooks and crannies of what you can do in Toy Story. I personally don't think that they're exploring enough, but this movie, the concept being the devices, that's an interesting concept, I guess. Before I saw the movie, I wasn't totally sold, because frankly, this is what Toy Story 1 is and what Toy Story 4 is. Toy Story 1, Woody gets replaced by Buzz. Toy Story 4, Woody gets replaced by Sporky? Forky? That character. However, they do broach it in a way that it does kind of feel different because it's a little more all-encompassing. It's affecting all the children that are this age. It's not just moving from toy to toy, it's moving from toy to like a totally different domain. So I guess it's warranted. I don't know that they address it totally correctly. I have not seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, so I don't know, but there's like YouTube in that, right? Isn't Pineapple Apple Pen in that? I feel like addressing YouTube kids would be a good thing. I don't know, I just feel like they don't explore this enough. It's kind of the device that they use, it's this kind of toned down version of the internet. The internet is bad for like several reasons, but I feel like a big reason is the disgusting video content, like just the slop that's for kids, and a big part of that is YouTube. And I feel like you should put that in your movie about how devices are replacing toys. Instead, it's a lot of like games, which yeah, kids play games too, but it's like in this desensitized like custom OS that is only for children. And I don't think that exists. Does that exist? Does Leapfrog sell that? You know, that's not something that's not knowledge that I'm privy to. So I just don't know. Isn't Leapfrog like the Game & Watch type games? They have that in this movie with the Conan O'Brien character, Smarty Pants, who is a potty trainer. That's what he says. But what does that mean? Isn't a potty trainer the thing you sit on and poop on? That's not what Conan O'Brien is. He's like a little toy to keep kids entertained while they go on to the toilet. And you have to like play a little DD Dance Dance Revolution game like on him. What? I've never seen that. I've never heard of that. Why is that a character that exists here? Do those things exist? I don't know. I don't know. The Conan O'Brien character, not that annoying, to be honest. There's some poop and butt jokes, and that is kind of not usual for Toy Story. Toy Story is usually like character jokes, but when you're not writing for characters anymore, and you're kind of just, the characters are kind of just in the plot, and then there's jokes because people will say a quirky thing, or move in a weird way, and then Conan O'Brien says poop. Yeah, this movie wasn't that funny, to be honest. The Leapfrog character is not that annoying either. I'm a little more cynical going into movies, especially Toy Story 5, and I was cynical going into Toy Story 4 also. But Forky was a lot more annoying than these characters. Don Rickles is dead? Estelle Harris is dead? Apparently these people have been dead for years, and I did not know until I realized that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head did not say a single thing in this movie. Mr. Potato Head talks a little bit, and I was like, that's not Don Rickles. And then I got home and I looked it up. He's dead. So that's what I'm thinking about in the theater. I'm sitting there thinking about, oh, Don Rickles is dead now. Just take Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head out of the movie. If their voice actors are different, I mean, you're not going to find anyone that sounds like Estelle Harris. That's why Mrs. Potato Head doesn't have a single line in this entire movie. But outside of tradition, why are any of these characters in the movie? Ham, Rex, why are any of these characters in the movie? Slinky? I don't think they do a single thing. They literally sit in a box the whole movie. They do nothing. If you're writing for like 4 characters, then just have only 4 characters. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of complaining about a stupid thing right now, but it was distracting to me personally that these characters we know and love are in the movie and also do nothing in the movie. Wouldn't it be fun to watch a Toy Story movie that's like, they're all retired, and they're like, oh boy, yeah, we're playing again today, but I don't know, I'm kind of done. And like, they're not really friends with like Buzz or Woody anymore. They're kind of like, oh yeah, we've been around for 30 years. We've been around for 30 years, we hang out every day with only each other. I feel like Ham would not be that stressed out that Jessie is gone. Who cares? Let Jessie live at this farm girl's house. Who cares? Let's move on. Let's turn the page, America. Let's turn the page. On that note, it's been... I thought Toy Story 3 came out in 2013. It came out in 2010. I was 6 years old. Possibly I was 5 years old. I saw that movie in theaters. Why is Bonnie still 8 years old? She should be, what? If she was 6 in Toy Story 3, we'll just say, or 7? She should be 22. That's really what I mean when I say this is post-game. Nothing matters anymore. Who cares? None of this is being taken realistically at all. We just have a fun couple ideas to do in the Toy Story universe. Let's make the new movie and make $500 million. That's how all these movies feel. And despite me being cynical about them, I always go to see them. And I'm like, oh, that was okay. So I'm saying all these things right now. But quite frankly, they had enough fun with the concept, and there was enough stuff, I think literally like just 3 stuff, that was like, oh, that's cool. That somehow warrants the whole hour 47 to me. Also, Pizza Steve is in this movie. What's up, guys? It's me, Pizza Steve. When are we getting the Disney Pixar Uncle Grandpa series? A quadrilogy of Uncle Grandpa movies. Each one focuses on a different character. Uncle Grandpa, Pizza Steve, Gus, Hyper-Realistic Tiger. And we follow each of these characters, kind of like the Beatles biopic. The 4 movies, we would follow them around. This would be a Surf Dracula kind of thing. We would get the backstory to how Uncle Grandpa became Uncle Grandpa. And they all meet at the end. Get on this, Disney Pixar. There's also a sticky hand character in this movie. I thought that was cool. And but I've already touched on this. These movies don't really take themselves that seriously. That sticky hand should have been absolutely covered in dust and hair and food, because that's how every sticky hand ends up when you're 8. Every sticky hand just immediately picks something up off of the school floor, and now it's disgusting, and you might get sick tomorrow. So that was unrealistic to me, especially because that's sticky hand is touching the potty trainer toy, which has been like sitting outside for ostensibly 5 years. Before I go into spoilers, what is my rating? I'm thinking like it's a 6 or a 7. It had enough of an idea. I emotionally felt virtually nothing, and there's a lot of stupid stuff in it. I think I've given stupid movies a 7 before just because they have an idea and they execute it. I'm just not sure this is like enough of an idea that they explore enough. So it's between a 6 or a 7. It's north of the border of 5 though. So that means yeah, you should watch it. Sure. Spoilers. All right, now we're in the spoilers territory. Most of my complaints here in the spoilers section are about the ways in which this movie doesn't take the world seriously / doesn't take the characters seriously. So when Woody comes back, he's like has this bald spot and he's fat, and all that stuff is funny. But how is he fat? And then he like sucks in his gut. How does that happen? Do you have more stuffing in you? Did at some point a squirrel like rip open your chest and you've got more stuffing in you than you used to have? How is your hair shiny? Because plastic doesn't really shine like that. It was funny when it happened, but I mean, how does that happen in the world of this movie? And sure, you can just say this is a stupid kids movie, this is a cartoon, and none of that matters, but they just wouldn't do that in the other movies. They had some sort of taking this seriously, I feel. But it was kind of a nice touch that he's like going bald. Like the paint is like rubbing off. Someone says get a Sharpie. That's funny. I kind of wished we exploited that a little bit more. It's Toy Story 5. It's post game. If we already don't care that his head doesn't shine, why don't we do something crazy? Why doesn't Woody have like a prosthetic robot arm or something? Because it got ripped off in some sort of exploit of his. By the way, that exploit that we see in the beginning, we've just established the fact that the screens are taking over, and we cut, and it's Woody, and he's in a tree, and he's trying to get this Peanut action figure guy, Peanut Strongbad. He's trying to get Peanut Strongbad down from his hang glider because a squirrel is about to eat him. First off, this is clearly like a plastic peanut. Wouldn't a squirrel know that not to eat plastic? Like, wouldn't they like smell that that's not really a peanut? Maybe it smells like peanut action. But that thing has like action figure arms. So, and probably came with the hang glider, you know? So who's selling this like peanut toy? I don't know, I just never saw stuff like that as a kid. And what's his name? Oh, his name is like Dr. Nutso. I guess that's a joke. I don't know, whatever. But all these like creative like characters are like introduced to the world, and they're there for like 5 seconds. It's just so hyper, and it's kind of distracting, honestly. Oh, you know, I just remembered those Key and Peele characters are in this movie. They don't have a single line. I saw them and I was like, oh, they got Key and Peele, and then they don't say a single thing in this movie. So why are they there? Just take them out. Just remove them. He's on the road with Bo Peep, man. But why do we need Key and Peele? Get him out of here. They were honestly the worst part of Toy Story 4, if I'm being honest. Anyway, so there's this nut character, and he comes on screen and he's like, I'm so stressed because of the screens. The screens are taking over. And then he recounts how he got in this tree, and it has nothing to do with the screens. So why are you screaming about the screens? It's because we, the audience, have just been told about the screens. So you have to back that up with like an anecdote or something like that. But your example is like a peanut being stuck in a tree. What do the screens have to do with that? And maybe maybe it blew past me because he was talking so fast, but is it because the kid who owns this toy got distracted from his like iPad that he's not trying to get his peanut back? But then why was he playing with the peanut in the first place if he's just gonna go dip to be on the iPad? I mean, kids just forget toys, and that's what I gleaned from that. It was just kid forgot his toy in a tree. So why is he ranting about the screens then? Again, it's like this is a cartoon now. This is not like a world in which toys are real. This is a cartoon. Yeah, it's kind of like tripling down on something stupid. You know what I mean? Like the first something stupid or something silly is that toys are alive. That's a silly premise, right? But everything else about like Toy Story 1 and 2 and 3 is like taking that seriously. And that's kind of the joke. Like that whole scene where they're like walking across the street in the traffic cones, that's very funny to me. It's very funny that this is something we're taking seriously. But that is the initial premise, is that toys are alive and they have to hide themselves using traffic cones. They're going on some sort of adventure, but they have to hide themselves. And there's like serious music playing, and the truck almost hits them. That's silly. But now it's like toys are real, and it's not even a serious thing that devices are replacing them, because the scene where this is introduced to us is already so comedic. These characters in the sandbox, it's so fast. They're like, you haven't heard? the devices, they're taking over. Just like, what? And like 15 characters pop out and they're like, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. And then they all disappear in the bushes. It's like a 20-second long scene. Remember when this was a movie? A cinema? In a cinema. You're watching it in a cinema and things are cinematic. If this was a serious scene, it would feel a lot longer. It would feel like we were at a place and a character was talking to the main character and telling them what's happening. Instead, it's like, I'm being goofy, I'm being silly. You haven't heard of the news? And then we hard cut. The screens! The screens! I'm a peanut in a tree. What's happening right now? Whatever. I think I'm aggrandizing that a little too much. I don't even remember what my entire point with that was. I just thought the peanut was stupid. I just did not like that. Okay, back on Buzz. I already talked about how he's kind of stupid. Also, his whole romance plot in this movie. I could have left it. Like, romance has always been in Toy Story movies, and I'm fine with that, whatever. I don't care. But to suggest that toys need or have a social want to be married is like, I don't know. Maybe God thinks the same thing about us. Maybe God is in heaven and he looks down and he goes, this is ridiculous. These guys are just on the earth for however long and they have this need to like make some sort of official rule that they're together. Maybe I'm being harsh on the toys and their culture, but I don't know, does Buzz need to have like a middle school embarrassed attitude to like basically asking a girl to the prom, but they're getting married, and then it's officiated by the porcupine toy? I don't know. I mean, it was kind of fun, but it kind of distracted from everything else. You know, I don't want to be complaining about things that were fun in the movie. It was fun to see the wedding, I guess. But all the build up to it is like, alright, man. These toys have known each other for 27 years? You know? Would they be embarrassed to talk about love or something like that? And the scene where they're driving, or they're flying with the drones, and he's like, this is it. I have to propose to you before this truck comes. That was forced, quite frankly. They could have flown up about 15, not even, they could have flown up like 5 feet in the air and have been completely fine. But I guess we're like doing a chase or something. I don't even remember why they were like doing a chase. I think the chase was over at that point. You know, they could have taken 5 seconds to sit down and Buzz to say, let me marry you. We could have done that. But this is like, I don't know. It's just confusing to me. Why are we doing this? We're doing this so the audience can be, oh, there's a truck. Whoa. But I guess the truck is like representative of the emotion. Boo. But in the world of the movie, they're like endangering their lives here. I mean, so just why are we doing that? You know? That was confusing to me as a viewer. Okay, the Buzzes on the island. That was fun. Them learning how to talk, whatever. Them silently, like, organizing things on this island and then rowing away. This was all fun. But these are clearly, like, new Buzz Lightyear toys because it's revealed later, they all have their own hotspot. So these are very clearly toys that have been invented very recently. And not only that, but they are also secretly drones. And honestly, at that reveal, literally my mouth was agape. I was like, what? They can really fly. They fly now. That being said, them flying does kind of cheapen Toy Story 1 a little bit, because the point was that they can't actually fly, but they're exploiting physics, and Buzz is accepting the fact that he's not a toy to save the day. Whatever. It was still fun to see in this movie, but I had a Buzz Lightyear when I was a kid. He wasn't super heavy, But I feel like he'd be a little too heavy for a terrible drone to fly him. Especially like if you think about the size of those little blades, I just feel like he would be too heavy, especially carrying like Bullseye, or the iPad especially. I just feel like that'd be too heavy. And how come Buzz Lightyear looks exactly the same as he did in 1995? In real life, toys get remodeled. This is clearly a remodel because there's a drone on his back. And I'm just thinking that the toy manufacturer would have to make him lighter and would also probably try to make him like cooler looking. These Buzz Lightyears should not be the exact same, build as our Buzz Lightyear. I'm not saying they have to be the size of like a 3-inch action figure. I'm just saying they should be a little lighter, a little trimmer. They should have a little different buttons on them. I have one other complaint about the Buzz Lightyears, and it's that they instinctually know to hide from humans. It kind of suggests something, actually, maybe this isn't a complaint, maybe it's a feature. I guess that kind of explains why Buzz Lightyear doesn't think he's a toy in the first one, but still instinctually knows to hide from Andy. I guess that actually does address a fair criticism about the Toy Story world, so maybe it's okay actually. But I just thought, when that happened, I was like, oh, that sucks. I would like these Buzz Lightyears to horrify and like kidnap this construction worker here. Wouldn't that be fun? It would be just more fun if these Buzz Lightyears didn't give a flip. Wouldn't that be fun? Toy Story 6. These buzzes aren't messing around. They're showing themselves to anyone. They're going on social media.
I didn't realize you were chill like that. All right, you're good.
And now the secret's blown. And that's the last Toy Story movie. Wouldn't that be fun? Apparently they will make a new Toy Story movie, as I read on Wikipedia. That should be what that movie is. Wouldn't that be great? Let's just see the whole world come tumbling down. Andy sees on the news that toys are alive and have been for years. He drives to Bonnie's house. Where's Woody? Woody, you were alive that whole time? Lily pad. Whole time I was thinking, oh, it's like this custom OS. Why are we doing that? Oh, it's Leapfrog. And I got home and I looked it up, and yup, brand deal. That's right, kids. You too can play with the antagonist from Toy Story 5. I get that she becomes sort of a good guy at the end, but still, I mean, this is not a great look for devices, for Toy Story 5 to go, get off the screens. But I'm sure Leapfrog doesn't care, and honestly, neither does anyone else in the entire world. No one at Leapfrog will have seen this movie. None of them will care. They will still get sold. Now, that being said, I just don't think that this is a thing that exists in the real world. Can people message each other on these Leapfrog iPads? I don't think so. I mean, is it just a normal iPad and it just has certain... No, it's not a normal iPad. Actually, yeah, because it's very specifically, it's by Eggman Technologies, and so is the Conan O'Brien, and that's why they can talk to each other. So Eggman Technologies has like their own server set up that is not any other like messaging system. It's not a phone. On that note, why can Conan O'Brien, why does that thing have Wi-Fi? Explicitly in the movie, he's a potty training toy. So why can that thing connect to the Eggman Technologies server? Is Eggman collecting like data on children's bathroom visits? Because I assume it has, I mean, it does have Wi-Fi on it, and it can send messages, and that kind of implicitly means that there's probably some sort of location thing on it too. And that's like an old Game & Watch type children's tech thing. Like VTech? Those things did not have internet. Maybe the new ones nowadays do. You know, I don't know. But that kind of suggests something insidious about the about that world. Or is it that Smarty Pants is leveraging this Atlas toy, this GPS toy? Is he leveraging that to like connect to the internet? I just did not totally buy it. How can he send messages? Whatever. They already wrote in the script that she has a one of these lily pad like books, lily pad MacBook things. That's already in the story, so why don't they just use that? They do that in Toy Story 3. They use a real computer. Trixie uses a real computer to find out where the daycare is, and then they go there. So why can't we do that? Why do we have to invent our own Friendster? Not Friendster. Whatever the thing from Cyberbully is. Why do we have to invent like our own little messaging system? Even though the rest of the internet already exists. Okay, whatever. There's one more kind of insidious? Darth Insidious? There's one more kind of evil. There's one kind of other dark suggestion that happens in this movie. The lily pad runs away from Bonnie, jumps into a little box, and gets shipped off to the Goodwill. And I was thinking, that's crazy. Why would she do that? That's like the toy version of suicide, basically. Or I guess not suicide, just running away from home. So suicide was in my mind. We cut shot of tire swing, and you see Jessie in the center of it. And I was like, oh wow, it's like a noose. I mean, there's literally a noose holding the tire swing. And then we get two shots of this, one from here and one from here. And then Bullseye runs up, whatever. Then we reveal that the tree says Jessie was here on it. And buried there is I guess maybe not. Maybe the thing I'm about to suggest is not necessarily the case. But it says Jessie was here. And they dig, the real horse digs, and they find the lunchbox, and it's got all these like little trinkets of the life of this kid, Jessie. This is Emily's real daughter, who has been named Jessie based on her favorite ragdoll toy. So the tire swing, the lily pad, I was like, oh, that's like suicide for a toy. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, this kid's probably dead. Why would the mom bury all this stuff of her daughter at her childhood tree, at her childhood home? Unless something terrible happened to this woman's daughter. So I feel like that kid is dead, man. And that was like a burying her stuff as like a time capsule. But now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking maybe that was just Emily was here, or Jessie was here. Jessie herself probably wrote that, I'm gonna make a little time capsule and bury it under mom's old tree. I don't know. I guess either one is possible, but I was thinking of the former while watching the movie, and I was like, wow, this is weird. I think that's all I have to say about the movie. Let's go into prediction analysis. Alright guys, we're here before the movie, and we're gonna make some predictions about the movie. I know Conan O'Brien and Taylor Swift are in the movie. Taylor Swift's song, that song is gonna be vaguely cowboy-ish. That song is gonna be sort of Jessie's main emotional theme, and it's going to play twice in the movie at least. Failure! Now, part of what I know is that Jessie is kind of a main character. I know this because Peyton wrote about it. Alright, if I know that Jessie's the main character, what do we know about Jessie? I also know that some character named Emily is involved. I really forget how I know this. It's just something I scrolled past or something. But I think that's Jessie's previous owner. So I think Jessie will return to Emily. Well, first off, how is that going to happen? Jessie is going to find Emily via the internet. And Emily's got to be... there were theories that Emily was Andy's mom. Do I think that'll happen? No. I guess that counts. Emily is not Andy's mom. But I think that Jesse somehow will find Emily using the internet and then is going to track her down. And that's going to be the kind of the plot of the movie. And at the end, will Jesse separate from the rest of the group? And I guess this also brings up another question. Will Buzz go with her if Jesse does separate? No, I think Jesse will not. Actually, no, I think she will. Jesse will end the movie with Emily. Buzz will be forced to separate from Jesse. Now, I haven't made any predictions about Conan O'Brien yet. I think either he's the iPad or Taylor Swift is the iPad, but it must be Conan O'Brien is the iPad. It's got to be. So this iPad, it's going to be annoying. It's going to be literally Forky. It's going to be Buzz. But Buzz is likable. I think that there's no ending of this movie where the iPad is like removed or destroyed as an actual villain. This is going to be a little more nuanced. They're going to need to come to some sort of terms with the iPad, but not on an emotional level at all. I mean, this iPad is going to become friends with them, but it's just going to be annoying for the whole movie. iPad will be annoying, but become their friend. What kind of internet stuff are we going to glean? Is there going to be doom scrolling? Is there going to be Elsa Spider-Man videos? I'm not too sure. Because they could also just throw at a left field and completely destroy my predictions here. That it's one of those kiddie iPads that's like fake. It doesn't have the internet on it. And it just has a couple pre-programmed like Game & Watch games. But that's not really the social mood of the times. It's going to be the actual internet, I think. iPad will be connected to internet. I think that's pretty much all the thoughts I have about the movie. I mean, I'm not very interested to see this really at all. I definitely could have gone my whole life without seeing it, and I would not have minded. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll do a prediction rating too. I'm going into this thinking that it's going to be am I thinking a south of the border 4 out of 10? Or am I thinking 6 out of 10? It will be somewhere in that range, no doubt.
Daily Videos 2026.